Hi, I'm James and thanks for tuning in to eBuyer. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at LG's UltraGear 24-inch gaming monitor. With a super high 144Hz refresh rate, super quick 1 millisecond response time, and an IPS panel with high dynamic range, this is set to be an awesome display for gaming in 2021 and beyond. Let's take the monitor out the box, get it built up, and plug it up to a gaming system to see what kind of results we're able to get. Maybe we'll even clutch that all-important W. Unboxing the monitor, and the first thing you'll find is the base of the stand. This is going to hold the monitor securely on a desk, and I really like the red accents here. They look premium, but also add a gaming edge to the exterior design of this LG UltraGear panel. You'll also find a myriad of power and display cables in here, including the power adapter and a DisplayPort cable. DisplayPort is my preferred connection type, especially for high refresh rate displays with high resolutions, fast response times, and HDR support. Having removed the top layer of polystyrene, you'll find the 24-inch LG UltraGear panel itself, with the really nice black and red UltraGear branding. Let's very carefully remove this from the box and head over to get it mounted onto the stand. I'm going to use the included protective wrapping just to protect the panel while we build the monitor, and I'd recommend you do the same. At the rear of the panel, we've got this nice circle with this red accent in, as I referred to earlier, and of course our rear I/O, with our DisplayPort in, as well as two HDMI connectors, a headphone mic jack, and a DC power connector. Nice and simple, but effective, and covers off all the bases we're after. You can see that the stand of the monitor actually clips into the bottom with support for a VESA mount just above. Clipping into the bottom means we need a shorter monitor column and makes things just that little bit more compact. Talking of which, here it is, nice and small, nice and compact, and this will actually slot over the exposed metal at the rear of the monitor. Pop that on there and then just secure in 2 screws to make sure it's not going to go anywhere. These screws look a little something like this and come included in the monitor's box, so make sure you don't miss them. Make sure you go ahead and screw the stand into place so the monitor is solid and not going to go anywhere, and that's going to cover you off really nicely. Once the central stand column is into place, there's only one thing left to do before the monitor's finished, and that's to take the base stand we looked at a moment ago and simply pop this into the center column. Fasten this down with the screw and we're literally done. That was super easy. And just like that, we're good to go. I actually quite like the compact form factor of this display. That 24 inches is not quite bite-sized, but it's definitely going to fit in a smaller gaming setup without being too overbearing. We'll take a look at the image quality in a moment, but this panel is perfect for gaming. A 144Hz refresh rate in a form factor like this is fantastic and allows you to see even more FPS per second than on many other monitors out there. A 1 millisecond response time also means that the gap in time between your PC rendering the image and you actually seeing it is much smaller, and that makes for an even better gaming experience. The less delay there is for you to see your enemies, and the more likely it is for you to clutch that all-important W. As if that wasn't enough, HDR support gives you high dynamic range, with big differences between the darkest and brightest parts of the image for better visual fidelity, while an IPS panel lends itself to a more colour-rich and vibrant image than what you'll find on a TM panel on cheaper monitors out there. That's enough of the babbling though, let's get this monitor plugged up to a system and play some games on it. With our LG UltraGear monitor now plugged up and connected to a powerful graphics card, let's run a gaming benchmark test to check out not only the image quality, but also the high refresh rate. Forza Horizon 4 is one of my favourites to try out, and for good reason. It will make sure we drive lots of FPS to the 144Hz refresh rate of the monitor. Straight off the bat, we're sitting around 130 frames per second, so nearly saturating the full 144Hz of the monitor. Not only that, the colours look great, and the viewing angles on the IPS panel are just as good as you would expect. Even at this side-on angle, colour reproduction is good, and we're not really seeing a great deal of distortion. All in all, it looks really fantastic actually, and the UltraGear monitor with that 144Hz refresh rate is coming in clutch. You really can see the dynamic range come into play here between the darkest parts of the image in the shadows of the trees and the brightest parts in our sky and neon signs. It looks absolutely amazing, really vivid and really enjoyable actually. Content consumption on this monitor is also going to be great, so when you've not got your gaming hat on, the LG UltraGear 24-inch panels got you covered. Otherwise, the stand's got a good deal of adjustability, allowing you to tilt the monitor up or down for your desired viewing angle. The stand also looks great with that black and red gaming finish, and all in all, I think the panel looks fantastic. The last thing that I want to try out is actually some content consumption on this panel, so let's load up a HDR video and see how that fares. You may have seen that we've used this particular video a few times for various monitors and laptops here on the eBuyer channel. And so far, the LG UltraGear looks great. The green and red in that image look fantastic. And here, it's really, really sharp. You can definitely make that out in the brown areas of the image where you really need that finer detail. The tree looks really crisp and clear, and is very impressive actually for a 1080p panel. Don't be mistaken, just because this display is not 4K doesn't mean you don't get a great picture quality. And of course you have the upside of the higher refresh rate that you'll often find on a slightly low resolution display. Either way, the full HD resolution in this smaller 24-inch form factor gives you plenty of pixel density to play with, and all in all a nice sharp image. And with that, that pretty much wraps it up for our first look and overview of LG's UltraGear 24-inch monitor with an IPS HDR panel and blazingly fast 144Hz refresh rate. Get your game on now and check out this monitor in the description of this video.